Sir, I feel that what Chanakya said years ago, to a certain extent, it is very true even today. Corruption is inevitable in our system. There is a lot of corruption right from bottom to the top. But I feel, sir, that today, with the maturization of our democracy, there is also a certain system of accountability and transparency.
What was your optional subject in the UPSC?
Sir, economics.
Tell me about demonetization. Dr. Manmohan Singh said that it has pushed back the Indian economy. It has reduced the growth rate. Whereas the proponents of or the supporters of demonetization say that it has achieved great purposes.
Yes, sir.
Whom would you like to agree with Dr. Manmohan Singh or with the supporters of demonetization? And why?
Sir, I believe that both of them are correct in their own way. Demonetization did come as a short-run shock to the economy, but it will bring, as the economic survey also suggested, it will bring lots of long-term measures and long-term improvement in our economy. If we talk about the short-run shocks, there were lines in front of the ATM, the aggregate demand suffered, the supply side of the unorganized sector, the agriculture sector, mostly cash-based economy, that suffered. But if we talk about the long-term benefits, digitalization is one of them, increase in our tax base, and also formalization of our economy. So I think in the long run, the black money, the digitalization, they were given the push. So I think it was a beneficial move, and the intention behind such a move was noble.
Yeah, but the economy is still suffering from the pain of demonetization because the informal economy has not been able to really get up. And that's why you find our growth rate is quite substandard. Because one of the objectives of demonetization was that black money will be wiped out.
Yes.
Now, about 15 lakh crore or whatever number was in circulation, currency notes were in circulation. Almost 99% got deposited back in the system.
Yes, sir.
Now, where is the black money then? Because everything went back to the system. And till date, there is no data. And you may be aware, there are various studies which have said that the component of black money, supposing black money is 100 rupees, out of that, only 6% is held in the form of cash. Out of 100 rupees of black money, only 6% is held in the form of cash. So by demonetization, we attacked at best that 6%.
Yes, sir.
And that 6% also got back into the system in her name, in my name, in her name, in your name, his name, and all that. And even now, Income Tax Department has not been very successful in saying that whatever is being deposited in her account or her account is black money. So the economy has taken a beating. You are right that digitization of economy or formalization of economy is a good step, and to that extent this has done a service. But it has really impacted the rural economy because the rural economy was all cash based.
Yes,
There was no black money in villages. I don't. Have you seen villages?
yes, sir.
The villages there is no black money. And villages there is only income. There is no black money because they are all agriculture based.
Yes, sir.
So the black money, actually, we all know because I worked in Income Tax Department for 38 years. We know where the black money is, but we don't touch that person. Anyway, now coming back to this, you want to join bureaucracy. A great Indian said that, please listen to my statement carefully. It is difficult not to test the honey that finds itself on the tip of the tongue. It is difficult not to test the honey that finds itself on the tip of the tongue.
Yes, sir.
Now, this was said about the bureaucracy. Can you tell me who said this?
Sir, I'm not really aware of who said
Okay,
this.
sure. Anyway, Kautilya said this in Arthashastra.
Okay.
Kautilya wrote in Arthashastra long back. Now, do you think it is true today also in terms when we try to measure bureaucracy in terms of corruption or probity or integrity? How do you view the bureaucracy, Indian bureaucracy today? Is it free from corruption? Are they not testing the honey that finds itself on their tongue?
Sir,
What is your view on this?
Sir, I feel that what Chanakya said years ago, to a certain extent it is very true even today. Corruption is inevitable in our system. There is a lot of corruption right from bottom to the top. But I feel, sir, that today with the maturization of our democracy, there is also a certain system of accountability and transparency which has got into. As the Indian democracy has progressed, sir, public accountability and fairness, the Right to Information Act, the recent voluntary retirement to a large number of tax department officials, all these measures, sir, and more importantly the use of technology that we have seen in the recent years, they are trying to reduce this corruption. And also, sir, I feel that not everyone in the bureaucracy is corrupt, but at times the work conditions are such that people are forced into it, or the work culture develops in a way that the discipline goes away. So I think the more we sensitize our bureaucracy right from the beginning, if we train them in the right values, ethical values, then I think change can be brought in, sir.
Yes. Apart from attitudinal change that you are talking about, what we can do is we can reduce the human interface.
Yes, sir.
We can make better use of computers.
Yes, sir.
Don't meet a person with whom you have work. Like supposing somebody wants some grant from you. You are a district collector somewhere. Somebody wants a grant for the school or whatever. You don't meet. Just see the application on the internet
Yes, sir.
and have the criteria prescribed. Whether that criteria meets, if it meets, the grant goes. And the corruption happens when two persons meet. When you are only looking at the computer, there can be no corruption.
Yes, sir.
So, increased use of computers in government systems and reducing human interface will be one of the big steps or important steps in removing corruption, and maybe thereafter
So
the
I think
bureaucrats
the
will
tax
not test.
department is also working in this direction, like with the faceless assessment,
Yeah.
faceless appeal.
You have heard of the faceless assessments and faceless appeals?
Yes, sir. In the last budget, our finance minister talked about this, and it has been implemented. The faceless assessment part, sir, to reduce the human interface when it comes to assessing the income tax return and file.
Good. Then tell me, what is this? Why these government banks they have so much of NPA,
So because
and why not private banks?
So there are multiple reasons for it, sir. Political influence on our public sector banks. There is no regulatory neutrality, sir. RBI has limited powers over the public sector banks as compared to the private sector banks. Also, sir, the management issues, the PNB fraud case, it brings out a lot of managerial inefficiencies in our public sector banks. And lastly, sir, the NPAs have been increasing because in the boom period of our Indian economy, sir, right from 2003 to 2008, the corporate sector, there was a credit boom in it. And when the bubble burst in 2008 financial crisis, post that the NPAs have increased tremendously. Essentially what the twin balance sheet problem that ex-chief economic advisor Mr. Arvind Subramaniam also talked about. So due to these problems, sir, the NPA problem is existing in our economy.
It is a government interference, lack of professionalism.
Yes, sir.
So, what do we do to improve the banking system? the government banking system? What should be done?
Sir, I believe that firstly, the RBI should have neutral regulatory powers over the private as well as public sector banks. We need to treat them on par at the same level so that efficient monitoring can be done. In these cases, sir, prevention is better than curing. The more credit history and KYC norms that the public sector banks follow, the more careful analysis they do, the better would be the loan repayment mechanism. Also, sir, the central repository of credit that the RBI is going to implement very soon, I think that will give a big boost to reducing these NPA problems. Because if you have the credit history of the person from whichever bank that person has taken loan, whether they have repaid, how is their income flow, and how is their repayment mechanism, I think all these things can help. Also, sir, the public sector banks, they have to maintain the adequate capital ratio so that there is no problem of getting into the prompt corrective action framework of RBI. So capital adequacy, effective monitoring, regulatory neutrality of the RBI, and also infusing competition into the banking sector, sir. We can think of FDI into the banking sector, private sector, and as well as public sector banks listing their shares on our stock exchanges. All this is going to bring efficiency in our banking sector.